In the last video, we saw how virtualization is the core foundation for cloud. But just because we have virtualization does not imply we have a cloud. You need a little more than that. There are four unique key characteristics of cloud computing. Let's see what those are. The first key characteristic is resource pooling. Remember when I mentioned how clouds in the sky blend into larger clouds or fragment into smaller ones? The technical term we use to describe that in cloud computing is resource pooling. Here, we take a large number of physical computing resources, put them together, and virtualize them. What you get as a result is a large pool of virtualized computing resources. You can now request for these virtualized resources to be provisioned of whatever size you need. A small sized or a large sized resource depending on your precise requirement. In the diagram on your screen, I'm only illustrating this for the processor. But this actually applies to all three elementary pieces: the processor, memory, and the hard disk. The second key characteristic is elasticity. Remember when I mentioned clouds in the sky look like they extend to infinity? The term we use to describe that is elasticity. Cloud service providers are massive establishments, not small. They usually have hundreds of data centers spread across the world, each with very large capacities. This means the size of the virtualized pool of resources is so huge that it's practically never ending. You can provision as many extra resources as you need when the workload goes up and deprovision them when the demand goes down. The third key characteristic is pay-per-use. In an on-premises environment, you have to bear the huge upfront cost of purchasing expensive computer hardware, irrespective of if you use it or not. But in the cloud, you only pay for the resources you use and the time you use them for. You are not liable to pay for anything else. So if you use 2 units or 1 unit, you just pay for that. If you don't use anything, your bill is zero. The fourth key characteristic is automation. All the three characteristics you saw so far, the resource pooling, elasticity, and pay-per-use billing, are all automated. And because everything is automated, it enables you to provision resources on demand and perform self-service on resources without having to depend on anyone. Neither the cloud service provider, technical support, nor anybody else. Remember, these characteristics apply to all three pieces: the processor, memory, and the hard disk. There you have it, the four key characteristics of cloud computing. It's a real cloud only if you have, at the very least, resource pooling, elasticity, pay per use, and automation.